everybody, welcome to another episode of George Reviews. I am your host, the 80 Transformer fan, and today on George Reviews, we'll be taking a look at Master of the Universe Origins, Rise of Evil, Dark Origins of two of Eternia's evil warriors. It is KALDOR, Evil Apprentice of Hordak, and Origins KRNOS, Evil Criminal from Another Dimension. And all the bad guys, or most of the bad guys, are from another dimension or the demon realm or something like that. They all, for some reason, they just can't be from another planet or from the west side of Eternia or whatever. They got to come up with all this stuff. This is a Target exclusive, by the way. A lot of the people that collect this line hate the Target exclusive. And speaking of collecting this line, I say it every time I review one of these figures. I am committed to not being committed to fully collecting this line. There are a few nice pieces that I want to pick and pull, and then sometimes there are those days when I call it a dry run. You go on your little toy hunt and you hit like 4 or 5 or even more stores, don't find anything, and you find something that's sweet, it's outside your realm or outside your passion, but it is sweet and you can't pass it up. And that's what I have here in front of me today. This is a sweet 2-pack. It is a throwback and a callback to the 2000 X series, where in that storyline, it was revealed that Skeletor was previously KALDOR, half-brother of King Randor, and Kronos, where I didn't learn about his origins, or Trapjaw origins. Yes, this guy goes on to be Trapjaw. I didn't learn about his origins until Master of the Universe Classics line, and in that line, the Trapjaw could be swapped out and become Kronos. I'm not exactly sure where that story came from, but in that storyline, it's funny they're packaged together, because KALDOR attempted to kill King Randor, and it backfired, and the vial of acid or corrosive chemical landed in his face, melting off his face, making him a Skeletor, this is a badass Skeletor head right there, and one of the biggest reasons I purchased this pack. But melted off his face and he became Skeletor. And then ironically enough, Kronos failed Skeletor in some mission or something, and then he just like blasted the guy apart and he became Trapjaw. So it's his fault that he became Skeletor, and this guy in turn did like a horrific thing to another person. So I guess the evil begets evil, and it continues on and on. So we get this very, very cool 2-pack. And while I'm rambling on, this is the front of the box. Modern posing, retro play, ages 6 is up, Mattel. We went over KALDOR, Origin KRNOS, and the artwork. Artwork is so cool. It's a shame. When I get these packages, I pretty much throw the box out because I have no place to save it. I mean, I'm all full up on toys now. But the artwork is amazing. You got like a wisp of clouds just forming Hordak behind them. The artwork for the two warriors is nice. They're overlooking. I guess this is like Palace Eternia or something back there, like glimmering and shining. Almost look like the Palace of the Wizard of Oz or something out of Flash Gordon back there. Looks very awesome. It continues down here where they're standing. And again, I throw them out. I was going to cut and clip all the artwork and keep them in the collage, but it would just be taking up space. My package is unpunched, but it has a little damage right there. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm going to open it. 21 and up right there. Spin it around. And more cool artwork. We have Beastman, KALDOR, KRNOS, Triclops, Mer-man, Evil and attacking, King Randor, Men-at-Arms, and Stratos. It looks like they're going to need more help. And inside the palace, it has that same jade-looking color, so that is the palace. Some techie bits on the wall right there, which is very, very cool. And again, artwork is awesome, but I don't have any place to put it. It shows you can pop and play with the heads, posing the figures with their weapons, and other figures available for 2021 right there. So spin around and let's get this guy open. I'm going to unbox like it is Christmas Day. Share it with you guys like we found this together. We're going to play with these things together. So let's check them out. If I can get them open on the first try. KALDOR and KRNOS. Both their names start with a K. And anything else? No type of instruction. You know what? What sucks? That, we don't get a mini comic with this. I know it's a 2-pack. I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but I would have loved a mini comic of what's going on with these guys, sort of to retell the story. You know? Even though I tried to retell it at the beginning. Very cool. Let's get these figures over here. All right, let's bring KRNOS forward. And let's take a look. I'm going to immediately bring out Trapjaw from the same toy line so we can see where he started and what's become of him. I notice their blues are slightly different bodies, but anyway, here are these guys side by side. And I don't think he was already damaged, because like his legs are like robotic legs, as if half of them were blown away. I think they should have sculpted some new legs and gave them to the guy like pre-damaged, because it's still a lot of Trapjaw in this figure already, especially with the helmet, like still wearing the same helmet. But let's check these guys out. And it is not the exact same helmet. It's the same helmet as far as like the look of the figure, but the mold and the sculpt is totally different from the toy's perspective. The chest armor or vest is totally different. None of it is held over. It is the exact same sculpt of the legs. I think they may have did that just to save some money. And looks like the trunks or the furry loincloth is exactly the same. Totally different arms. He has the standard arms from the standard buck. And the chest is, I guess it's two different chests. It's like partially the same mold, but this side is molded on Trapjaw. So let's get back to Kronos and take a good look at him. He looked like he's snarling a little bit or gritting his teeth. I don't think it's quite a smile. Kind of looks like Kang the Conqueror with his dark blue skin or darker blue skin. Eyes look pretty good, just white with black dots. Has some good eyebrows. A little funny, pudgy, molded nose. Some high cheekbones. Looks pretty good. While I'm here, let's check out the head at 360s. Rock side to side, and I'm pretty sure it pops off. Okay, the waist comes off really easy. Yep, head pops off, and we'll save the swap to Trapjaw in just a sec. Let's go to his arm. Same, this is a standard Master Universe buck from this line. In and out like that. I'm pretty sure the arm comes out. I'm not going to try to pull it out right now. Elbow bend, this is as much as you get because of that big bulking bicep right there. Coming to his wrist, 360s, hinges in and out, and I'm pretty sure it pops out. I don't want to pull it out because something else is going to pop loose. I'm not big on the whole pop and play feature for this thing. Ball joint between his legs, he can get his legs this far out, front and back this far. It's the same. If you've seen any of these reviews, the same articulation, feels the same. Not a whole lot of range. Like, the biggest drawback is the lack of range in the legs for these figures. It's there. If they had made some of the plastic softer, you could get more out of it. Like with this knee bend, this is just a limited knee bend. It's not knocking and bumping anything. This is just all you get. And as far as a rocker, get a little bit in there, which is, I guess, enough for these figures. He's packaged with a weapon, which is a blaster. The gun was warped out of the package. It looks to be the gun designed after the vintage weapons rack for Castle Grayskull. I'm not sure if they packaged it into the current Castle Grayskull's weapons rack for this line, but mine is warped and it is harder plastic, so I just don't want to bend it back and snap it. Probably have to heat it up. And before I go into it, what would have been cool is if somehow this gun was designed like Trapjaw's arm attachment, and where he just modified it where he couldn't carry it and turn it into a hand weapon. But that's not what they did, and I don't have a problem with it. I just thought that would have been cool. See if we can get it in his hand, and like the handle is kind of bent to the side on mine as well, which sucks. And here he is. Can he, well, can't hold it with two hands. Well, sort of, kind of. Get this hand on it. For a toy line that has interchangeable parts, you would think everybody would come with at least two pairs of hands, open and closed. You know what? I'm going to probably have to take an arm off anyway to get the vest off. We're going to take a look at the buck underneath. And yep, let's go ahead and pull an arm. Take that off. Slide this off and I'm going to put his arm back in against the standard buck. Now let's try this. I don't remember if this thing comes out or not. Yep, but we're going to do this. So now we have this. And now we have this. the arm attachment on Kronos. Even though I believe that this piece right here on Trapjaw is actually like attached to his body, which makes the arm, claw arm works or whatever. That, like, this isn't just like a piece of armor. I believe all this with this guy is like just one piece, because his body, all this is damaged, whatever happened. So you can do this, but I don't think it's like physically accurate to what's going on with him at this point. But it looks cool though. It looks pretty cool. So you can do that. Or you can put the vest back on and sort of kind of have the whole Trapjaw thing with even more armor on. And he can still wait. You know what? I didn't go far enough. Like I do these reviews on the fly. It's not practice or rehearse. I'm literally finding this stuff out as I go. Come on, head. This head better fit on here. I'm going to be pissed. Oh my God. This is some bullshit. Like the pegs are different. So you can't, because this extended port right here, you can't get the head over here. Like what type of shit is that? It's like they did it on purpose. Oh my goodness, look. So you can't, I was going to put this head on here, and he has storage spaces for weaponry on his back. Which is like, what the hell? My only guess is they want you to put this armor onto the Trapjaw body. So I'm going to pause and do that, come right back. Alright, so after a little Frankenstein work, and which is he's sort of Frankenstein any damn way, I got the Kronos arm over here, the Trapjaw thing, the Kronos vest over the top, and we can take, you know what, I'm completely take that armor off. Let's store all three of his weapons, just because we can, on his back, and go with Kronos arm. The other Kronos arm. And now we have Chronojaw, or Trapnos. And here we go with the sort of Mitch-Mac. It's a shame that the head doesn't fit over there so we can get this whole look. But it doesn't look so bad with the armor coming over the armor. He looks a little bit more beefy. Looks pretty cool, actually. And now he can have the gun, so he's sort of kind of in between, like it happened in stages, whatever happened to him. But whatever Skeletor did clearly blew off his arms, his jaw, and his legs. As a kid, I always thought like he had some type of bomb in his hand, like he was some type of scientist, a bomb disposal guy, or just some crazy engineer in one of his experiments, like backfired. That's what I thought as a kid. Like he lost half his legs, so like Vader, his arm and his lower jaw and all of that. So yeah, I would love to see him without a helmet totally. See what type of hair he had. Was it white, yellow, black, brown? You know, what was going on? Did he wear a mohawk or what? But clearly his face was blue and not green. So whatever damaged him so bad that his face changed. And if you put this head on here, you got like this float, which is awful when you can't do it. It's like they knew this line was miss and match play where you can swap the parts. Everything is swappable. But they took one character that they know people with, anybody has the 2-pack most likely has Trapjaw and Skeletor, and they made it like hard to do the swap around thing, which is I don't know. Alright, I guess that's all I got for Kronos, so I'm gonna move on to KALDOR. But it's very cool having this figure. With this figure, now just alone, standalone figure, I don't think he's that great. But I'm the type of collector, I love Toy Stories and a good backstory, and he represents the backstory to one of my favorite characters in fiction, and definitely for Master of the Universe. Always loved Trapjaw with the draw and the gimmicks. But yeah, as a standalone figure, he's alright. Like Trapjaw better. Alright, here is Prince KALDOR, one of the heirs to the throne of Eternia. And everyone loves Skeletor with the cape ever since the Franklin Jella version of Skeletor in the movie. I've never been that big on capes on characters that can't fly. You know what I mean? Well, I guess he's a prince. I was going to say unless you're a royalty, but he is a prince of Eternia. And here he is. Let's bring him forward. Take a look at his face. He has that suave, debonair face, and he's supposed to be the Gar race, the blue skin race from Eternia, and sort of like hate to say it, sort of like the black people. They're the overlooked race, or the race that gets put down a lot. And he didn't get the throne, and he was mad at his half brother Keldor. They have the same father. I can't remember their father's name. I thought we would get one in Origin. I thought we would get King Randor's father in Classics line when they were doing like the Filmation character. Can't think of his name. If I think of his name, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. Here he is. It's pretty much the same costume as Skeletor, but he lacks the demon type parts, like with the feet and the arms. The cape is softer. Man, they should have had capes like this in Classics line. It's a softer plastic. Hair's not that hard. You can move it around. But because of that, his head's kind of jutting forward with the cape and the hair. But this is pre-Skeletor, everybody. And the bat that's on his chest is green, sort of go along with his weaponry. Let's take a look at how much articulation we can get out of Keldor with that hair. It will 360, but like it's pushing up on that stuff. You gotta kind of raise it up. Oh, and it's popping off. So not really 360, but technically it can. And let's go to the cape's articulation. You can move it sides. You can spin it all the way around. Maybe sort of kind of get some different looks out of it. Moving on from that, the buck is the same Origins buck. We can get the arms out this far. It rotated that socket in and out on that hinge. Elbow band right here. Hinge and 360 and pop and play feature for days at the head, the shoulder, and the waist. And the boot cut. I think the boot cut, these might, yeah, I think these have it. Pop at the waist. You can remove the armor. You can remove the cape. I'll get to that. 360 at the waist. And again, with the same legs, limited motion. Front back is what you get in the knees. That is it. Swivels at the boot. And it should unhinge. You could change the boots on your Skeletor if you chose to. Though this is a different purple. They keep changing the purples on these versions of Skeletor, Keldor, whatever. They keep slightly changing it, so nothing really matches up. Take a look at that. On the skull and crossbones, they painted this little part pink for whatever to distinguish him even further from Skeletor. And you wonder, is this just once he turned evil armor? Because this is the bad guy's armor. You got this bat right here. You got the little tassel pieces right here. And you got the skull and crossbones right there. And a ram's head on the belt. Someone like King Randor or Prince Randor is supposed to look over him like, what are you wearing? Like when Anakin Skywalker was walking around the Jedi Temple in the black robes. They supposed to be like, well, hold on. We Jedis. That's like a Sith outfit. You know, this is like foreshadowing. They're supposed to say something to him like, what do you have on? And look at that devious mustache. If he's not swashbuckling, he's like an evil dude. Look at the chin, the little devil beard on the chin. They supposed to know this. The pointed ears, the works. Like who on Eternia did not see this coming? All right, let's move on. We're gonna do the weaponry first. Now the Havoc staff. This is another reason why Keldor is the biggest reason why I wanted this. The translucent parts. I love translucent things done to toys. 99% of the time. Sometimes I question like why. I guess I could question it here, but I think it's like a magical effect. It would seem like it would be more translucent after he became Skeletor, but I don't know. I don't care. It's cool. It is very cool. And the whole piece is translucent green plastic. The bottom part is a paint, and you can see it filters all the way down. My camera's picking it up, which I love, which is very cool. It helps brings out the bat on his chest as if he's summoning the magic, and I don't know, his armor's lighting up too, and he's using the Havoc staff. I wish these were longer. They just don't seem long enough after handling the Classics version so much. But that is very cool to see. I really like it a lot. He seems like he's having a little trouble holding the staff. Okay, well he was. Like it a lot. Like what they did. I think that is pretty cool. And now for the power sword. And we finally have it. And I knew we would. A complete sword where we don't have to mash halves together. I cannot stand the half of the sword just for the look of it in the hand. I get the little part of the story, but please give me just a straight up sword. And then they did a whole translucent thing. So now I like the translucent thing, like the transfer of power or blast effect or whatever. But at the same time, I'm going to have to buy another Skeletor to get one that isn't translucent, but again, it looks cool. And you can hardly tell that that is paint at the bottom. I wonder if they mixed two plastics, because it looks really good. Let's get it in his hand. Bam. And unlike Skeletor, he has two closed hands, two gripping hands. And I just noticed that because I'm playing with the weapons. So let's get the Havoc Staff and have him wield both. And maybe use a magical curse or a block defense against Randor. And I know we're going to get a Randor. I mean, I already know, but he's probably coming sooner than later now. We have this figure. This Keldor figure alone is worth the purchase. The head of him before being Skeletor, the more vibrant armor. I like the purple better. I'm going to do some comparisons in a second, but just what they've done I like better. And then you get the cape. And again, these weapons are very, very cool. But that isn't even the best selling point. I would buy it I would buy the whole 2-pack, even if I didn't really feel the Kronos figure that much. It's cool, but I would buy the whole 2-pack alone just to get this. I should have bought 2. If I see it again, I will buy it again because of the secondary Skeletor head. To me, this is the best toy Skeletor head ever made. And yeah, I'm saying that goes back to the vintage line, to the classics line, 2000X. I'm calling every line out. You get something very special in this. You get a very, very vintage style head. Then it takes another leap and it adds like bone teeth. Not just like, of course he has the bone head, but like humanoid painted teeth. You can see that. Yeah, that's a good look at it. It's a separate paint app than just the green skull, and it looks amazing. I love the vacant nose space, the way it's done. Then they put crystals or jewels or whatever in the eye sockets, which makes it come alive. This is the best Skeletor head ever packed in or put on a Masters of the Universe toy, period. To me, this is worth it alone. I would buy this 3 times and put it on all my Skeletors. So we're going to take KALDOR, as cool as his head is, we're going to take this suave debonair head off. And we're going to turn him in. You know what? Might as well remove the cape. And by the way, the cape is one plastic piece with a soft, pliable plastic mold. We're going to take this off and kind of get the whole Skeletor thing going on. Pop this on, which is badass. I mean, the head, the expression is the perfect expression. I'm going to bring out some more Skeletors, but that's how Skeletor is supposed to look. I mean, to me, this is the perfect head. And I knew they would do this. I knew that they would keep making heads. Like when everybody got mad at the first He-Man head, I said in my earlier videos before they even came out, they're going to keep making figures and they're going to keep giving you the head. They're going to make every version of He-Man and Skeletor ever. And this is an example of that. And I don't think it's the last one. We're going to get what is the answer? The Skeletor that comes with the little dragon. He's like the answer to Flying Fist, He-Man, or whatever. They're going to keep making versions of Skeletor in this toy line. But anyway, here is the very first Skeletor released in Origins line. Let's see if I can get these guys in. And here is, and this guy also came with 2 heads. The Battle Armor version. The Battle Armor version to me had the weakest head. I know it's all on your own personal opinion. And he came with 2 heads actually. And I think both of his 2 heads were kind of weak. But I guess having them all is kind of cool because you can display different versions. But what they did is, these guys are 3 different purples. Now the skin tone is pretty much the same as far as my naked eye can see. The Gar blue is the same across the board, but with the armors and the hoods, you're getting different colors. Just like everyone would probably add the cape to Skeletor. So let's do that now. When I say they're all Skeletor, but the main body Skeletor, and I don't think it'll look bad, but it's an off color. And maybe it might stand out. People would like it more, but you can see that it's just not the same. And not saying that it has to be, but it seemed like they would have been more consistent with the purples. But I guess it's to give us all variety. You know what I mean? To customize the toys. That's the biggest gimmick, the swap and play. So let's move him back. And let's see how it looks on Battle Armor. I think it might look better on Battle Armor. And I thought it would have been cool if they would have put like a hole in it to sheath the sword. So like he has right here on the cape. But do capes go with Battle Armor? I don't know. But we're going to pop it on anyway. Back to the angry head. I think I had the angry head on here. And here is Battle Armor. It's still not quite there, but it is darker. And it kind of looks cool to me on Battle Armor Skeletor. I think I like it better on Battle Armor. And like I said, you can swap so much. The waist comes apart so easily. Like, man, you think they would have made the waist a little bit harder and made the other parts a little bit more loose. All right, I'm going to bring this head over to Battle Armor. And I'm telling you, this makes it so much more worth it. The parts that come with the Skeletor, if you're a Skeletor fan, even like I said, if you don't like the Kronos, you have to get it just for this head and maybe even a cape to do a few different things. All right, one more. I got my classic Skeletor out. Master of the Universe Classics line. And I'm going to see if that head works on this Skeletor. And it pops on there. It doesn't snap, but it sits on there. Let me see if I can pick him up by the head without it detaching. Yeah, it sits on there. It doesn't really move around that great. You can look left and right, but like I guess you can get a little bit up and a little bit, okay. It does move around pretty good. And it looks fantastic. It looks proportionate. Compared to the head that comes with him, it looks a little large, but it looks good with this figure. And because he has a wash over his armor and the purple looks a few different colors, it does not look so bad sitting on top. It looks like it's blending in and fading away to the rest of his armor. It looks great. And again, next time I see this set, I'm going to buy another set just to give me one of these heads. Or maybe all right, I'm not going to keep yakking about it. I recommend this set if you can get it. And I'm not even big on this line like that, but these guys are great. He's cool. He is awesome together. They are great. This is a great set, and I highly recommend it for any Master of the Universe Origins guy. A lot of people are buzzing about it. They're starting to show up. People are starting to find them in large quantities now. I've had these things for over a month at the time I'm shooting this. Today is like June 25th, I think it is, that I'm shooting this review, sort of ahead of a lot of the other views I need to drop. But this set is great. It truly is. With that, I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of George Reviews, the reviews where every toy has a story.